Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you for joining me today. And I want to thank you for everyone that has decided to subscribe to our YouTube channel, everyone that has hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We're getting close to 400 subscribers. I know we're going to get there soon. And just want to thank everybody for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. And if you're watching for the first time, and you're enjoying what you see, if you like the content, I have a lot of great content on the channel already, more on the way. Maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button. You know, the choice is yours, but hopefully you'll make that choice and hit that subscribe button like so many people have already. And again, I'm very, very grateful for everyone that has hit that subscribe button. So right now it is shout out time for one of our subscribers. So I would like to give a wholehearted, very, very warm, very, very serious shout out to Straight Talk Wrestling. Straight Talk Wrestling, thank you very much for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoy great interviews, you might want to head over, you should head on over to Straight Talk Wrestling's YouTube channel, because this guy, George Mackay, he is just an incredible interviewer. Lots of great interviews with lots of top stars of professional wrestling. And he took time out of his busy day to hit that subscribe button for the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network and YouTube channel. And I really appreciate it. And I do subscribe to his YouTube channel, and so should you. So maybe you want to hit two subscribe buttons: the subscribe button to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel and the Straight Talk Wrestling YouTube channel. So so check them out. Straight Talk Wrestling, George Mackay. Great interview. Lots of great content on there. Lots of great interviews. Go ahead, check them out one more time. Straight Talk Wrestling. Again, thank you for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast YouTube channel. Okay, let us get into it. Lots of talk over the last day over this potential WWE New Japan Pro Wrestling partnership that has been rumored. That's been the people have been talking about. Websites have been reporting on it. Reading here from Fightful.com, says on May 28th, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. Ooh, Dave Meltzer. He always tells the truth, right? Okay, let's just look on. But he reported that WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling have been in talks about WWE being the exclusive American partner of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Reportedly, the talks date back to late March, early April, which would include WWE sending talent to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, we all know right now that New Japan Pro Wrestling has a working relationship with AEW and Impact Wrestling. So if these talks started back in March and early April, I guess they kind of fell through, because we all know AEW and Impact Wrestling, they have the working agreement right now. They have the relationship right now, the forbidden door, so to speak, with New Japan Pro Wrestling. But anyway, we'll move on. It says AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling have had a relationship since AEW started, with top AEW talent going to Japan for major events. John Moxley has gone over there. Chris Jericho has gone over there. During the pandemic, New Japan Pro Wrestling talent has come to America and wrestled on AEW Dynamite. Rocky Romero, Ren Narita, and Yuji Nagata. And we saw Kenta as well. Kenta was on AEW Dynamite. And Tony Khan didn't appreciate this rumor between the WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling working on some sort of relationship to make WWE the exclusive American partner for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because if the WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling, if they form a partnership, then AEW and Impact Wrestling could waive their partnerships goodbye, and it would hurt Impact Wrestling a lot more than AEW. But Tony Khan just he quoted here, "I just want to address as the forbidden door that New Japan Pro Wrestling has apparently had talks with WWE President Nick Khan." Now this is Tony Khan talking. I just want to just point that out one more time. Well, Nick, if you've been talking to New Japan for 2 months, you've gotten a lot done. Just in the last 2 weeks, I've had Yuji Nagata, Ren Narita, and Rocky Romero in AEW. I've reunited Roppongi Vice. I've had the IWGP US champion John Moxley defend the title successfully on our show. And I have future plans with New Japan for the US title. So you must have gotten a lot done in 2 months, Nick. In fact, I think there's room for only one con in the wrestling business. It's me, Tony Khan, not some con man from Connecticut. Tony Khan pulling no punches. Tony Khan saying there's only enough room in this town for one Khan, and it's Tony Khan, AEW. So I like Tony Khan's fire. I like Tony Khan. He's um he's a no nonsense individual. He's like don't mess with him, right? Don't mess with Tony Khan. I kind of like the way he addressed this. He could have addressed it saying, "Well, WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they're having discussions. There's nothing I can do about it. So hopefully, AEW and New Japan, we could continue our relationship, regardless of what happens." But no, he just came out. He pulled out the guns and said, look, dude." Look, dude. There's only one room for one con in the wrestling business, and it's me, Tony Khan, AEW, not some schmuck from Connecticut, or not some con man from Connecticut. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed reading that. Tony Khan is great. I'm a Tony Khan fan. I thought that was great. And this relationship, from what I was reading, is actually based on Daniel Bryan, because Mike Johnson, PW Insider, reported that there has been communication in recent months between WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and talks between the promotions center around the possibility of Daniel Bryan being able to potentially work someday to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So the WWE is worried that they're going to lose Daniel Bryan. The WWE is worried that they're going to lose Daniel Bryan. So they're trying to work out some sort of an agreement, apparently, to get some sort of working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, because Daniel Bryan indicated that he wants to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling and compete. But the WWE doesn't want to lose Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan said he would like to work something out where he could work in the WWE and other promotions. Now, he's not going to be able to work in the WWE and AEW. That's not going to get worked out. But possibly, the WWE might be able to work something out with New Japan Pro Wrestling. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, what's in it for the WWE when they work up with another promotion, or if they try to work out a deal, it's what's in it for them. They're not worried about what's in it for New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's what's in it for them, and I know, as I said, they don't want to lose Daniel Bryan, but like they're going to want something in return. So maybe they'll get an exchange. Maybe, I don't think they're just going to do this deal just so, hey, we're going to get to keep Daniel Bryan, so let him wrestle on New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's what we're getting out of it. They're going to want something more. So I don't know. Maybe if they do it, there'll be a talent exchange or something. I don't know, but I don't see it happening. I don't see this happening with the WWE. I see Daniel Bryan not signing with the WWE and doing his own thing, working around his own schedule, wrestling in AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, wherever he wants to go, Ring of Honor. Because I know he wants to work in Ring of Honor as well. He mentioned he wants a match with Jonathan Gresham, which would just be outstanding. Yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen with this WWE New Japan Pro Wrestling potential partnership, or talks of a partnership. Because if they started talking months ago and nothing has happened by now, nothing's going to happen, because we're in full swing right now. Satoshi Kojima just showed up on New Japan Pro Wrestling legend. Satoshi Kojima just showed up in Impact Wrestling. Finn Juice was just there as the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions. We saw El Phantasmo in Impact Wrestling, and I mentioned that all the names are in AEW. So the New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, Impact Wrestling partnership is in full swing, and I don't think the WWE can do anything about it. I don't think they're going to come in and they're going to change anything. But I love Tony Khan's response, man. Tony Khan is awesome. Yeah. So, but just say like WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling work something out where WWE was the exclusive partner, the exclusive North American partner for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like I said, it would hurt Impact Wrestling a lot more than it would hurt AEW. I think AEW would survive, but I think Impact Wrestling, they're really, really, really dependent right now on New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW to send some stars over to their promotion, because I talk about this on my show on the Impact Lounge, Shooting Up North. The Impact Wrestling has done nothing to bring to bring any new stars in. Sure, you got Chris Bay, you have Ace Austin, Josh Alexander, X Division champion, but who's gonna be the stars of Impact Wrestling 5-6 years down the road? Let's not go that far. 2-3 years down the road, because there's no guarantee the names that I just mentioned are going to be with Impact Wrestling. So. AEW, they have their AEW Dark where they develop new talent and they look for new young talent. Ring of Honor has Future of Honor. WWE has NXT. Impact Wrestling doesn't have anything like that. Impact Wrestling seems like they wait to see who the WWE releases, and then they do their Slamversary. Our world is going to change for the 5th time, because so WWE has released some talent, so we're gonna see if we could bring some of that talent in. They need to start their own. And I don't want to go on a rant about it because you could hear it a lot. I talk about it a lot on Shooting Up North on the Impact Lounge. But they shouldn't have canceled Explosion. They should bring back Explosion and make it a new talent showcase for Impact Wrestling where they look for new talents, look for new stars. I know right now you'll see Sam Beal has potential. And VSK, you see him; he's a young star as well in Impact Wrestling. So they're trending in the right direction there. But they should really think about getting a new talent showcase in the vein of AEW Dark and like Future of Honor, something like that. They should definitely in the vein. Was in the vein? Is that right? Whatever. They should get something comparable to that. I should say. But anyway, back to New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe if they work something out, maybe Daniel Bryan could work there for a couple of dates. But even like I said, I don't think Daniel Bryan is going to resign with the WWE. My gut feeling says that he's going to do what he wants to do, and he's going to go ahead and do the Daniel Bryan tour. Going to wrestle 2 or 3 guys in Ring of Honor, 2 or 3 guys in AEW, head on over to Japan, maybe Impact Wrestling. I think that's what he's going to do. I could be wrong. Only Daniel Bryan really knows what Daniel Bryan's going to do, but that's my gut feeling on that. Okay, so Kurt Angle. Let's get the Kurt Angle story. Kurt Angle has he's rethinking his retirement after the John Cena return rumors. So here's Ringside News reporting. It says sorry, I had a little trouble getting this thing on my phone. My phone froze for a second there. You didn't see it, but I kind of panicked for a second because my phone froze. But so it says Kurt Angle. This is froze again. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. RingsideNews.com says Kurt Angle rethinking his retirement after John Cena return rumors. It says WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle is undoubtedly one of the best pro wrestlers to have ever graced the squared circle. I agree. He had a tremendous career in WWE, spanning multiple world title runs and incredible matches. It says, for the past week or so, there have been rumors that John Cena will be making his return in July when WWE will be bringing back live audiences again. This has certainly gotten a lot of people wondering about his return, and it seems even Kurt Angle is interested. It says Kurt Angle took to Twitter and reacted to John Cena's return rumors by hinting at the fact that he was rethinking his retirement and possibly facing John Cena again. He reacted by uploading a GIF containing actor Jim Carrey, which included, quote, "So you're telling me there's a chance?" Hearing rumors about John Cena going back to the WWE got me rethinking my retirement match. Okay. So the tweet was, hearing my rumors about John Cena. The article here kind of mixed up the timeline there, but it says, hearing my rumors about John Cena going back to the WWE got me rethinking about my retirement match. Like there's a chance. It says WWE is currently discussing a possible match between John Cena and Roman Reigns for SummerSlam. Regardless, we certainly wonder if Kurt Angle would decide to come out of retirement to face Cena, since Angle originally wanted Cena to be his final opponent. So will Kurt Angle come out of retirement to face John Cena? I mean, Kurt Angle wanted his last opponent to be John Cena, not Baron Corbin. I could definitely see Kurt Angle coming out of retirement for one more match. I think he would have one more good match left in him, and he said he wants to get Cena, and Cena being the absolute legendary star that he is. I think Kurt Angle could pull out one more fantastic match with John Cena. And if anyone could pull it out of Kurt Angle, it's definitely John Cena. I don't know if it's going to be at SummerSlam. I know there are the rumors Cena against Reign at SummerSlam, whatever they decide to do, that's fine. But I do think that we could see Kurt Angle in the ring one more time against John Cena. And like I said, I think he's got one more match left in him. And I think John Cena can pull out one more great match out of Kurt Angle. But then again, does John Cena want to do that? John Cena's got this acting career now. Does he want to come? I mean, if he comes back to SummerSlam for a big payday, does he want to do a program with Kurt Angle? I don't know. I don't know if John Cena would want to do that. I guess he might. I mean, if Kurt Angle could talk him into it, but I know he's busy making movies now. You know, he's a movie star. I remember John Cena used to make fun of The Rock about leaving the WWE to go ahead and make movies. But hey, John Cena is doing the same thing. He's making movies. That's not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, that's perfectly fine. You know, you're making movies. Hey, you know, that's great. But you know, is his heart in professional wrestling anymore? Does he? I mean, like I said, I can see him coming back to SummerSlam to sell tickets against Roman Reigns and give Roman Reigns a big win there. But is his heart still in professional wrestling that he would want to come back and give Kurt Angle the retirement match that Kurt Angle wanted? Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. I couldn't answer that. I don't know. I would think he would give it to him. You know, John Cena seems to be a cool dude, you know, a straight up cool dude. So I could see him giving Kurt Angle the match that he wanted. But then again, maybe 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 he won't be able to because Bumblebee 2 will be coming out and the filming will start for Bumblebee 2 and John Cena will be all tied up. So who knows? Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see if Kurt Angle. Hopefully, Kurt Angle could get the retirement match that he wanted against John Cena. So we'll see. We'll see if anything more develops in that, and if it does, I'll be sure to report it right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. All right, Paul Wight, aka the Big Show, says he wants to return to the ring. Says he wants to return to the ring. He says he really wants to get back in the ring in AEW. RingsideNews.com reporting. It says Paul Wight is a true veteran in the pro wrestling world as he worked in the business for well over 2 decades. Paul Wight shocked the professional wrestling world when he officially announced that he will be working with AEW a couple months ago. Since his appearance in AEW, he has been working as part of the AEW commentary team, and he says he's having a great time. However, he has yet to compete inside the ring for the company. While speaking to Busted Open Radio, Paul Wight revealed that he has an intense desire to get back in the ring and make his in-ring debut in AEW, adding that his role as AEW commentator has renewed his interest in competing again. And this is quote from The Big Show. It says, "Man, I need to dump myself into a vat of cortisone. I got the itch so bad. It's ridiculous, and it's the best thing I could have done. For so many years, I was in the WWE. I was a gear in the cog of the machine up there, but I knew that we were doing what we were doing at live events. I knew what we were doing on Raw and SmackDown. I know who was new. I had my finger on that environment. When I came to AEW, a lot of these people I didn't know. Some of them I never heard of before. I didn't understand their styles, didn't understand any of it. So one of the luckiest and smartest moves I think I was able to be a part of was to do Elevation because I really got to see the talent, understand the talent, and it's made me more comfortable where now I really know up here how I settle in, how I get over, how I help the other talent, how I pull ratings and help AEW grow. It's the first time in my entire career where everything is lined up. The knowledge is there, health is there, the desire is there, and the opportunity is there. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. This is the first time in God knows how many years where I know all that's a definitive fact." says Paul White is also set to join the commentary team this Sunday on AEW Double or Nothing. We'll have to see when Paul White will make his in-ring debut and who he will be facing off against. So Paul White looking to make his in-ring debut for AEW, and I'm all for that. He seems pumped. Paul White, he seems absolutely pumped and ready to get back in the ring. And that's exciting to hear. I mean, the way he's talking, he says he's got the itch. He's got the itch so bad. He's got to dump himself into a vat of cortisone. He's got the itch so bad to get back into the ring. And that's great news. Just to hear the passion in that. I know I read that long quote, but such passion in that long quote. He wants to get back in. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ggets back in the ring with if we see him face off against somebody or somebody. I think I haven't been. I need to catch up with Dynamite, but I think I read somewhere that QT Marshall was actually might be starting a feud with Paul White. I think I read that. I could be wrong. I think QT Marshall has already planted the seeds of a potential feud with Paul White. Now QT Marshall has his faction. I could be wrong there. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I thought I read that somewhere. But nonetheless, I wouldn't be surprised at Double or Nothing if Paul White somehow gets involved. In one of the matches, or if more seeds are planted for someone to start a feud. Could be QT Marshall, it could be Lance Archer, it could be whoever it may be. But that would be a great match, actually, Paul White against Lance Archer. But whoever it may be, I wouldn't be surprised at Double or Nothing if we see some sort of Paul White getting involved in a match, or somebody mouthing off to Paul White or calling him Yella or calling him chicken or whatever and challenges him, and we see Paul White return to the ring. I'd be all for it, man. I would love to see him back in the ring. I don't think it would be on a daily basis. I think we'll see a 1 off, maybe a 2 off, maybe a 3 off, but he does seem like he wants to get back into the ring. And I'm sure sooner or later, Paul White will be making his AEW debut. It's just a matter of who his debut opponent will be. Lance Archer, like I just mentioned, will be one. QT Marshall, possibly. I think, though, in his debut, it's not going to be a loss. I think it's going to be a win. So if it's QT Marshall, if I did read that correctly, if it is QT Marshall, Paul White will get the victory over QT Marshall. But Miro is another potential opponent. There's a lot of potential opponents for Paul White. I'm sure anybody will love to step up. Rick Recon was just on AEW Dark. Maybe Rick Recon will step up. Little shout out there to Rick Recon. But yeah, no, I have no doubt we'll see Paul White in an AEW ring, making his AEW in-ring debut very, very soon. Just to wrap this up, 2 things I got to say. One, Impact Wrestling made me a very happy camper, very, very happy camper, when they announced Satoshi Kojima will be taking on Joe Doring at Against All Odds. That's going to be a spectacular match. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Satoshi Kojima versus Joe Doring. Again, Against All Odds, Impact Wrestling. I just wish there was going to be a crowd there, but unfortunately there's not going to be a crowd. But that's going to be one hell of a great match. I can't wait for that one. And one match that everybody needs to put on their watch list, because it's a must-see match, in my opinion. Last night, I was watching New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, Collision 2021, the final Collision 2021 show. And it was Tom Lawler putting the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship on the line against Chris Dickinson. And this match was absolutely freaking spectacular. It's a must-see match. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. Just subscribe to New Japan World and just watch that match. It is absolutely spectacular. Just an absolutely tremendous match from start to finish. 21 minutes of spectacular action. One of the best matches I've seen all year so far. Yes, it's only May, but definitely one of the best matches I've seen all year. And highly recommended. highly, highly recommended. Tom Lawler, Chris Dickinson, New Japan Pro Wrestling Openweight Championship match on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. Must-see match. Okay, on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. My name is Lewis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. Should some breaking news break during the course of today, I'll be back later on to pass that news along. But if not, I'll be back probably tomorrow or maybe the next day and talk to you guys a little bit more. On that note, I'm going to say thank you very much. I'm Lewis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. And I just want to say thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.